Hey gang, welcome back for another episode of Mid-10 Listens Live. This is Brett Campbell for Middle Tennessee Music. We've got some great tunes, or at least we think they're great tunes. We'll find out soon enough. Lined up for you tonight. Got 5 on the platter ready to spin those for you. And we've got 6 in with us tonight on our panel. If you don't know what we're doing, I'll go ahead and give you a quick rundown. Our music comes to us from a few different spots. We get it basically by private invitation that we send out to our favorite PR firms that work with Middle Tennessee Music. And we pick and choose from the submissions that come in at random. I choose those songs or bands that are going to be featured or invited, that is, by whether or not their email catches my attention. You send this one that says, hey, yo, check out my dope new track. Guess where it's going? It's going in the garbage. You don't get an invitation. That's the way it works. Catch my attention and you'll get an invitation. We love to get new songs in, and we love all the people that support Middle Tennessee Music and send us the music that we get to listen to and feature. And so much of it is great. We really appreciate it all. I really like the guys that put in that extra effort, and that's why we invite them. We've also brought in a couple this week. I haven't advertised this at all publicly, but we have begun reaching out to a couple other places, and we have 2 songs that have come to us through a private community on Google+. We have a very special track from a group over in England, which we have an exclusive on. I'll tell you a little more about that later as we get into the show. First, I want to introduce everybody. And I'll switch over here so you can see everybody real quick. First up, a musician that I met a few years ago through some good friends at Butterflies Radio, a fellow named Billy Kay. He's working out on his new album out in Seattle. Billy plays some country music, some really neat stuff. Billy, glad you're here with us.
Greetings from Seattle.
Thanks much.
Cold here.
Is it cold already? That's a shame. I'm sweating. It's nice and warm here. Brian Dotson is in Iowa. I remembered it. I tried to say Idaho because we were joking about potatoes last night. Brian's an audio engineer, does some great work. He's been with us now on a couple of shows. He's got great ears and a really good take on things. Brian, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks, Brett. Everybody for having me here. Yeah, man, this is an honor. It's great.
It's our pleasure. From Cincinnati, Ohio, consummate drummer of fantastic pop music, Mark Shively with the Matter of Fact Band is here.
Greetings, everyone.
And he's quick. Aaron Young has Hangout Records. He supports lots of independent musicians over on Google Plus in particular, and does a fantastic job with it. Also, he helps Jeffrey Hellman, who runs his One More Saturday Night Grateful Dead show every Saturday night, which you ought to check out. Good stuff there, Aaron. Like I says, down in Memphis, and we're glad to have you back. I think this is your 6th week in a row, isn't it, Aaron?
Probably so. I lost count. But thanks for having me. I really do enjoy these review shows, and it's a good chance to always listen to some new tunes.
We're glad you're here, and the only way I keep count is by the fact that I've got a folder for each show, so I can count the folders, and that helps a lot. And in Kansas City, June Gall, who has become one of our favorite friends, a fantastic lady with great taste and such fun humor. We're glad you're joining us, June. Hello and welcome. And June's been having some audio issues tonight. She might stay quiet a little bit. Oh, the button. You're looking for the button. It's down there.
Yeah, I found the button.
There it is.
It's like Christmas every day, every week.
It is, isn't it?
And new music. Yes, it is. It's glad to be here.
Always fun. Our first tune tonight comes from Adam Clark. Let's see a little bit of Adam's bio here. He says, Adam Clark shows raw emotion using his voice to complement his words of his songs, and he spent years perfecting the aspects of his music. Started in high school, moving on to college, and he's now out of college. He began absorbing different styles from different genres. His first single, Feels So Good, is out, and it gained attention from notable producers and popular blogs. Well, I don't know how popular the Mid-10 Listens blog is. Let's see what kind of attention we can give to Feels So Good by Adam Clark. If our group has got our playlist loaded, everybody ready there? We're going to listen to this one, and as you know, we give our honest opinions on the spot. We might talk over the music a little bit if something catches our attention. Let's all hit play together and see what we think of this one.
I'll be the king, the king, the king of the sky. The king, the king, the king of the sky. Where do you run to when there's nowhere left to go? What do you call it when you can't even call it home? But I know together we're gonna make it.
That intro kicked ass.
And we'll lift
Vocals got really good processing.
our kingdom in the clouds. And I'll be the king, the king, the king of the sky. I'll be the king, the king, the king of the sky. Can't nobody clip my wings. Yeah, I dare you to try, 'cause I'm the king.
I'm really digging this track, man.
Isn't it crazy?
Everything about
how we teach ourselves to fly?
this is really nice.
But I know without you I could never soar so high.
The vibraphone is fantastic.
I know together we're gonna make it through somehow. And we'll live forever in our kingdom in the clouds. And I'll be the king, the king, the king of the sky. I'll be the king, the king, the king of the sky.
Mark, you gotta admit, the drum part on the back of this is awesome.
Can't nobody clip my
Very big, very full.
try, 'cause I'm the
It's running beautifully with this track.
'cause
I love that. Oh, going with it.
oh, we're gonna live among the stars. Oh, and together the world is ours. Where do you run to when there's nowhere left to go? I'll be the king, the king, the king of the sky. I'll be the king, the king,
Dude, this is
king of the
good.
sky.
This is way good.
Can't nobody clip my wings. Yeah, I dare you to try, 'cause I'm the king.
You think maybe we could make a new Lion King movie just for this song?
I'm thinking.
'Cause I'm the king.
There was energy on that. The singer sang it like it was his first time. It was great.
I was thinking either Lion King or Budweiser commercial.
Oh yeah, man, it'd make a great beer commercial. Yeah,
Wow,
that's-
that's a good concept. A great Budweiser commercial.
yeah, that's
That
cool.
was really good.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm not even sure what to say.
I don't know what either to say. I'm lost.
All right, Aaron, get us started. Lower right hand corner.
I don't know. I thought the track was pretty decent. It's got the new. I guess it's kind of like has like new rock sound. Kind of has the Imagine Dragons feel to it. I really enjoyed the lyrics, and I think it's more of a spiritual track than anything. So that's my 2 cents.
That's the shortest 2 cents you've ever had.
Well, I'm really short a couple more cents.
Well, we're all short a few cents. I mean, have you seen the local economy? This isn't a politics show, though, so I'll shut up.
But as far as like going rating on our normal scale, this would have to be a chick night foot sort of tune for me.
Aaron calls it a chick flick night song. For me, it's a tablet track, and as I'm fond of saying, I wouldn't be embarrassed if I were caught jamming this one. That's for sure. I'm trying to find a negative in it. Damn it! If this is the way the show started, Adam, you set a high bar for these other folks here in this particular show, in my opinion. All right, the dynamics are great. This is one of the most dynamic tracks we've had. And let's see, we've had 5 episodes of this particular show so far, so that would be the 26th song we've listened to, and the most dynamic of all of them. The trick of using that to vocally to hit with the drums. What a beautiful trick. I mean, that's great. The vibraphone, who's using a vibraphone? That's awesome. And this positive, I'm on top of it message, that fits with my my Jedi mindset philosophy. I mean, you have to be on top of it in life. You have to, in my opinion, you got to approach life with, I got this, I'm going to be the king of it attitude.
How do they get the that spatial, that big open sound? Is there a lot of effects going on in that?
Yes,
to get that type?
There is.
Yeah, there's a lot of production there, but it's good production.
There's a lot of good production going on in this track. I mean, the reverse gates for the whomp on that you were talking about, Brett, on the vocals and everything else. I mean, phenomenal. It was incredible. But I'm not going to say I wouldn't be caught jamming with this thing at the stoplight, because it's technically too good for my blood.
Yeah, I can. All right, there's the negative. It is too good.
Yeah. You know what the bad part is? There's not a flaw in the song that I heard. It was when I'm listening to it technically, there wasn't an off pitch. There wasn't an off cue on any delays. There wasn't anything wrong with the song. Like
And that's what's wrong with it.
Exactly. That's what's wrong with it. It's too perfect.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to it again. June, what do you think of it? Lower right.
I want to put that one in my special folder. And my special folder is encouraging and uplifting to keep me going forward to my lung transplant. And I want that one in my folder.
I'll be willing to bet that Adam be happy to hear that.
That is such an amazing song. It has good power in it. It has amazing, it has strength in it. It has everything that you need in it to face anything in life and to keep you going forward and strong. It's amazing. I love it.
Hot dog, man. I'm worried about these next 4 now. I know. Where's Billy? Did he get his coffee? I see the kitchen.
I like Billy's other view better.
I do too. The lake view was much better.
Little core out there.
Oh, yeah, he's moving.
You're turned away in, sir.
I'll go until he gets ready. I would give that I'd put that on the tablet. Playing the song as a musician, though, I'd have a lot of fun playing the drums on that song.
Oh, I can imagine.
Staying busy, and then anytime you get that kind of sound playing the drums, it's that thunderous sound. It makes it so much more fun playing.
I really, the whole thing. I mean, just is Billy about ready there? So can you hear us, Billy? Give me a wave at the camera or something if you can hear me, and I'll walk you through. Okay, he's that.
Click on your name. Billy, click on your name.
You know what? I can do it for him. There,
There you
see,
go.
he's unmuted now. So that's Adam Clark, King of the Sky. It's available on SoundCloud. It is out. And check out, what was it? I've got the website. It's buried here. Adam Music Clark. That's Adam Clark, King of the Sky. Darn good ratings across the board. Really fun track. Thank you very much, Adam, for sending that over. I think we really enjoyed that one. This episode of Mid-10 Listens Live is brought to you by MPC Recording Company, the independent label known for empowering artists to understand music as a business and to control their careers, and by Unlimited Sounds, a publishing, administration, and digital distribution company helping the average musician get ahead in the digital era. We're about to check out Go Home Driver's song, Boombox. Let's hit play.
We set the bar high on the first song. It's getting higher.
Here we go again.
That's a perfectly ratty guitar sound.
Wanna freaking more. We only live under the black lights above us.
Mark's playing with it.
What we only do. What the other tries not to do. What the other's doing. What the other
Love that snare sound.
may never do.
Go.
Born from boombox.
This has reminiscence of the White Stripes and Jack White.
Boombox. Born from boombox.
I'd like to hear that vocal brought in a little stronger.
Looking down top.
I gotta agree with you, Brett. The vocal needs to be more up front. But it's awesome. It's really good where it sits. But it needs more up front.
It's not about the shape, but it's all I have to take. Born from boombox, you hear the stompbox. I'm the boombox, born from boombox.
I think both the vocal and the lead guitar are just a hair off from being the way they're supposed to be. In this genre, you got to have the best vocal and the best tasty guitar licks, and they're just a tad short of it. It's a good song.
That tremolo picking on the whole notes is nice.
The scream right there, though, kind of threw me off. But you,
I think that was the drummer.
oh, was that the drummer?
It fit though. I didn't expect it, but it sure fit.
Who's going to open? Okay, I will. Yeah, you're muted, Brett.
No, I'm not. That slams. I like it.
Dude, that was so reminiscent of the White Stripes.
Very White Stripes-ish.
Yes.
And I'm trying to figure out. I mean, that's.
Oh, look at Mark down there.
Is it in the right orientation for the viewers?
He
There's
did.
been right orientation for us. What is that, binary?
I gotta agree with Billy. The vocals and the guitar quite weren't up front enough.
Just, I mean,
Just a hair.
Yeah, I
It
mean-
should be just a touch. And that guitar should have popped out right there when that guitar took off on that solo. Should have popped out a little bit harder.
I agree.
But
I'd like to tell you what, I'd like to mix this track.
I would too.
This track freaking slams. I get the feeling the cats are young. They may have done this themselves. And being that guy that's had to mix himself and being unsure sometimes if my vocal is right where it's supposed to be, I tend to mix it down a little bit. And there's thousands of us that do that because we're just slightly unsure of ourselves. I get the feeling they were slightly unsure of themselves and
It's pretty cool.
and weren't it just didn't quite have the confidence to just punch that vocal right up the center, straight out front, and bust our balls with it. That's the only thing this track. I liked it. I'll jam it at the red light.
I'll second that.
I will triple that. I will jam it at the red light. Because I agree with Brett. They just didn't have the balls to put it up there. They haven't got enough experience yet. The band's good, but they don't have enough experience yet. And I think you're right. They mixed it themselves.
I think so. And, I'm often surprised by some of the music that comes at me from India, Indonesia, doing American style rock and roll. And I tell you, these kids over there, they are working their asses off, and they rock.
They did very well. It's incredible.
Yeah, well, the price of a good drummer in Indonesia is really cheap, you know?
Oh, wow. Throw it out there, Billy. Go, man.
What do you think, June?
I enjoyed it. I would definitely, I could see myself cruising along top down, jamming away to it, except for when it got to that vocal part towards the end where he started screaming. I mean, that was like somebody getting murdered.
I couldn't catch all the lyrics clearly.
No.
But I do feel that scream in there and that style of doing that's there for a reason. He was making a point with something, and I want to listen to it closely to catch out what that point was.
Obviously had to be, because it just kind of like came out of left field and went off right field with a murder in between,
That's a perfect setup for the next one, though. I'll remember that one. That takes me back to Robert Plant. If you follow. Yeah, that sudden outburst, that sudden outburst that June's talking about. That takes me back to Robert Plant and the early Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
I'll go there. Yeah.
At least you're in our ages now.
I'm 46 years old. I've heard most everything that's been recorded. Well, okay, I've heard most every style that's been recorded, and I love it all. Great stuff. I'm not going to hide my age. Is it age or is it experience?
Let's put it down to experience. I'm not giving my age away.
Gosh, Mark, you're an old bastard.
How old?
53.
And you calling him old? Oh my God! Stay quiet.
See, look at all the experience on top of his head. See all that? That's why here. That's a lot of experience.
Yeah, cheating the barber.
The barber.
All right. So, Billy, is that a jamming at the red light track, stashed on the tablet, chick flick night, or don't let the dog download it?
It's stopping at the red light speech there, dude.
Heck yeah. I think we're across the board with that one. Man, I tell you.
Yeah, I agree.
If they keep coming to us like this,
brother, what are we gonna do? I mean,
I don't know. I'm gonna have I'm gonna have a freaking heck of a music collection if they keep sending us stuff like this. I'm loving it.
I'm downloading that one. I'm telling you straight out. I don't care if we remix it or not. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So find them on Facebook or SoundCloud. Go Home Driver. The name of the song was Boombox. This panel of 5 that used to be 6 and should have been 10 tonight all agrees that's a jamming at the red light, butt-kicking freaking song. We like it. Thanks so much, guys, for sending it over. Our next one, we're going to listen to Rivertairs and their new song, Jack. It's not out yet. We have an exclusive, and today you get to hear it roughly 24 hours before the track is released. It will be released 1 minute after midnight GMT on Halloween. The quote here I have says, as the nights draw in and leaves fall from the trees, thoughts turn to that time of year when the veil between life and death is at its thinnest. Rivertairs are stop that. Hit that stop button. You're not supposed to be playing it yet.
Who's playing?
I can't tell. Somebody is. It's either you or Billy because you're the only ones with unmuted mics. Rivertairs are hoping that this first bite of autumn gloom will provide the perfect backdrop for their new single, an unexpectedly upbeat blend of rock and roll and psychedelica focused on the elusive Victorian serial killer Jack the Ripper. And we're grateful to have the opportunity to stream this song for you roughly 24 hours before it's released. And why do I not have it? What's going on here? Oh, I see what Billy was doing. I found it now in my list.
I'm trying to figure out why we went to. On your list, it's 5.
Is it? Well, in the middle of it's number 3 in my stuff here. So, anyways,
Okay, we'll go down there.
y'all jump down to track number 5.
Evidently.
Jack by Rivertairs over.
Are we doing Jack?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Jack by Rivertairs over in jolly old England. Where's
Billy, hit pause.
oh heck, everybody hit play and have a good time.
Do you see the girls that walk the line that occupies your time? The time it takes for you to feel. Maybe it's that you don't know enough. Maybe you should leave it all to love. Give it up for Mr. Lovestruck. Giving you the look that makes you smile, the smile that really drives you wild. In the alleyway of passion steel, Jack, you can really paint the town. Red lipstick and a dressing gown. Satisfaction in the way you get down. Jack,
This is fun.
beware of the knock. It's more than just a tale, yeah. Jack.
I don't know what to say. This is good.
In the name gives before he takes, giving you a taste, the taste that leaves you wanting more. Tiptoe down the cobbled streets, he may be here or he may be there.
It's one of those songs that makes you want to think you can sing it even though you've never heard it.
Exactly, dude. This is really good.
There's a shadow as he prepares
It's written about Jack the Ripper, by the way.
to do the next.
I did a little research on it. Listen.
Running down the hour.
Well, I told you that before we started.
Well, then look farther.
Romance is not where his intentions lie. Jack, beware of the knock. It's more than just a tale, yeah. Jack, put you in a box. He's hammering the bells, yeah. Do you see the girls? The girls I want the line.
You're playing some of the best songs I've heard like in months, dude. You've got great choices.
For you to feel, Jack.
I don't choose them.
Now you're in the box. He's hammered all the nails.
You guys aren't done yet, are you?
Oh, that's awesome.
It is. Wore my thigh out with the drumstick.
Mark, you can play the drums. Go ahead. Turn around to the Rollins and play them.
Thanks for that invite.
All right. Rivertair, you guys are just terrible. That sucks. Why you got to send me a song that I can't pick on? You know? Wow, that's fun. I want to listen to it a few times and catch the story a little better because, I mean, it sounded like Jack had some problems that he kind of needed to work through and maybe could have just used a lady friend, you know? That was,
Well, you tried to have lady friends.
That's kind of what I was picking up too. He was having some problems. Sorry.
an upbeat take on Jack the Ripper, man. And it was. Well, you got great guitar sounds, great rhythm. The whole band's tight, production's good, and
The harmony was great.
Where's the flaw?
Hmm.
It's
Where's the
just,
flaw?
man, I hope these other tracks are as good as this. or I hope not. I don't know. Is the show more interesting when we can pick on one, or is it more interesting when it's all a bunch of fun? But
You know what? It's as soon as the show's over, I'm gonna have to switch over to the monitors and really listen to these again because there's nothing bad on this show so far.
yeah, I've got the sixth grader that's in the other room. They're trying to go to bed here any minute, and I won't be able to do that. But I'll tell you,
You know what?
I'll be blowing up some truck speakers tomorrow. I don't know. All right, I'm jamming. There's another one. I'm jamming at the red light. I got one that's probably more of a tablet track, just because it's that kind of personal listening kind of thing. And two, jamming at the red light so far. I got a playlist going on. I'm gonna walk into the local music store tomorrow, and I'm gonna lay this stuff down on the desk. I'm gonna say, here, put this on the playlist, and see what they think of it over there.
What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I kind of thought it was a cross between Tough Darts and band Television. It's a couple of my old favorites. The drums, loved his use of rudiments throughout the music. The composition of the song was excellent. And again, a real good up-tempo song, and just love it. I'd say I'd have to be jamming at the red light with it.
Billy, we're going to take your silence and happy look to mean that you're jamming at the red light too, huh?
Well, where I am, it's those lights that have the cameras on you. So yeah. That was a great song. There's nothing I can say bad about that song. I loved it.
What was it you said in the middle? I didn't quite catch because I was cranking this one. You said something about finding good music or whatnot.
You found like all good songs here.
So
I thought
far,
you were gonna give me a whole bunch of, can I say, crap? But these are all great.
You know, I've really been hoping that some crap would come along, but I haven't found any yet. I mean, just to keep things interesting, and honestly, I do not listen to the music. I have no idea. I'm not listening to the song before the show because that ruins the show. So I honestly have no idea what any of this is going to be. TC Dean has finally managed to make it in this evening, and we're glad he's here. Welcome, TC, from Japan.
I was helping somebody get a audio system setup idea combination of things going so that they could make some magic happen out on the interwebs. Anyway, good to see you. I'm glad to be here. Looks like you have an interesting list of songs. Got the sample of a few of them before I showed up and listened to them. Wow, I missed a couple of things, didn't I?
Yeah, you've missed some really good stuff, and I'm really hoping that the rest of it's just as good. Before we get into the next two, I want to give, I feel I should give a little bit of a disclaimer. We met through community on Google+. I have heard their music. I have not heard these songs. I've always enjoyed hanging out with them, and I've enjoyed what I've heard from the music. That being said, we've got Ars Nova up next, and Tom Strasser right afterwards. And Ars and Tom, I like you. You're good folks. You're my friends. I'm going to give you my honest opinion of the songs, just like everyone else. I'm going to treat you like strangers, no holds bars. And with that, let's prepare for the Ars Nova tune, which is called I'll Get By. Ars Nova is an alternative rock band with an emphasis on vocal harmony, and they're in the Grand Rapids, Michigan area. They incorporate elements from a variety of styles: blues, classic rock, jazz, folk, and hard rock. And we're going to bring up I'll Get By Ars Nova first. You guys got her loaded and ready to go? Let's hit play.
One for the other seems clear, but you know life ain't often fair. I take comfort where I can. Is this
Wow, do I hear Abbey Road coming through on that.
understand? Will I get by on my own when I'm all alone? Just bring it on, 'cause you know I can take it.
This is a serious throwback. I'm digging.
Keep right.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking 1971, 72. Huge vocals,
No matter what,
lots of reverb, lots of open.
and I will not fold. No, not this time. I'll do what I must to get by.
I wouldn't mind cruising to the beach with this on the radio.
But for failure, what would we see?
I got a bottle of some nice blue tequila sitting on the beach with the sun going down.
With Pamela Anderson. I had that same fantasy.
I'll go with that. No, definitely.
Left it all. How far can you fall? So you take a look at your
I'm probably the only one here that actually has blue sky out the window right now because it's lunchtime where I'm at. So I'm looking outside. I got a nice blue sky, calm, good temperature. Window should be open. Just drink in hand,
just keep my
chilling out.
arm.
I'll talk about the mix later, but yeah.
Taking everything as it comes.
Yeah, I don't have blue skies to look at, but I'll tell you straight up, I can see them right there.
Well, darn.
Now I'm
Animals,
depressed. Now
turtles,
Procol Harum.
Procol Harum.
way early Beatles. Way early influence on the Beatles.
Nice stuff. Okay, let me pick on it first. And TC, I think I know where TC is going to come from. We're talking about the mix. So I'm going to try to put that fire out. I heard a little bit of room and microphone line noise, that kind of thing in the beginning. It kind of got covered up in the drums. I think I would have spent a few minutes with some noise reduction on the individual tracks.
Not quite where I was going to go, but you're close.
Wait, now I'm not finished. We've dealt
Rolling up my sleeves here.
We've dealt with each other before. I'm standing my ground tonight. Slight little inconsistencies in vocal levels, and maybe would have put that lead a little more out front. I think they mixed this one themselves, and I think that a whole lot of where we might pick on the mix, TC, they probably did it on purpose.
Possibly. Quite possibly.
And with
Part of
that,
the vintage feel.
right. And with that in mind, I'm listening to it with that open mind of, hey, my buddy gave me this tape here and I stuck it in my car and I really like it. And I don't give a damn whether it was professionally recorded or if the tape was worn out, or I just like it. And I've heard these cats perform live in lots of Google Hangouts. And what I heard just now in this recording was 10 times more enjoyable than what they've done in the Hangouts, which has all been pretty good.
Yeah.
So, gosh, I like the song. I like the words of the song. I like the treatment. I like the dynamics. A couple little issues in the mix.
How many guys are in this band, Brett? 2, or is it a whole band?
If
Sounds
I
like
remember,
it's
I think it's let's see, it's one.
It sounds like a band.
It's either it's either 4 or 5.
Here's my issue.
All right, but anyway, that's what I got, and I'm going to give it my rating. I'm
ahead.
going to call it a tablet track because I'm
Tablet
going to listen.
track.
I'm going to listen
Straight
to
to
it
the tablet.
again, and I'm not going to be embarrassed if I'm caught listening to it. That's a good track. Thank you, Ars Nova. I enjoyed it, and now let's let TC pick it apart.
Or I can wait until somebody else is filled in their gaps. I mean, if you want me to hold off for a second.
No. You've been chomping at the bit.
You
Do it,
go,
buddy.
you go, you go.
Go ahead, brother.
I rolled up my sleeves for this one. The song is good, and the song has really classic elements to it. I mean, I hear early Animals. I hear some of the Turtles. I hear some of the different mixes from the 60s, the Mercy Beats sound, the back when cables were all handmade, when you had the brass plugs on the end of the cables. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
There's a different tone.
Yep.
And I hear some of that going on in there, and I like it. I like it a lot. One of the things that I noticed, though, is that in the headphones, when you're listening, especially with decent headphones, I'm using ultrasounds, the initial mix comes off, and Pink Floyd did this on a few songs. Starts off on the real hard left side. Then afterwards, another instrument will come in later to kind of balance out over here. Mm-hmm. And then something comes up into the center. But in those mixes, what happens is that stuff that's way over here on the hard left and the hard right, once everything starts to build up, then they'll bring it in a little bit to solidify the center of the song. This didn't do that. It stayed hard left and then that hard right. That's the only thing that was missing from it, is the timing of, once the song starts to develop, bring those outside edges in just a little bit, or take that hard left guitar track, double it, and then bring a little bit over into the right side to give some symmetry to the image.
Yeah,
That's
I think
it.
that would have been a good thing to do.
That's all I would. That's all is a little more symmetry to that image, because tonally the noise is right where it should be. I wouldn't change a thing with the noise, because that's part of what gives it that vintage character of my reel-to-reel going.
And that's all you're going to pick on? I never heard. I think that's the least you've had to say about.
I like the song. And I thought it had that cool vibe of just. My glass is empty, damn it. I need something to drink.
I can't argue with that.
But the hard left, in a real recording studio, what would happen is, that hard left thing, and then bringing another instrument over here to kind of balance out. And it's a different instrument, and then you got different, everything had space between it. All the instruments had their own identity, which is very good. But to keep you from sailboat. Think about a sailboat. When you start listing, you got water in your ballast and you're listing over to the side. It makes it a little unnatural in your headphones. For speakers, you could probably get away with this. If you're listening to a real nice set of Magna planers, this would be a great song to hear it on. But for the headphone mix, take that rhythm guitar that's constant drone, kind of double it, put it over here on the left side, or on the right side, and just bring a little bit of it up to give some symmetry to the center of the image of the song. That's it. That's all I would do.
And if you think back to when
rating windows down at a moderate volume. I'm not blasting it, but windows down, rolling down a street, moderate volume, enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
Think back to what was it, about 58 or so when the pan knob was created. Before that, you had.
Thank you.
Before that, you had hard left, you had hard right, you had dead center, and that bring it in from the sides to the center thing would not have happened. You would have had one, the other, or right up the middle.
Yeah.
before the pan knob was created. So I'm not even going to worry about the fact that they left things hard panned. I did.
Yeah. Well, see, this is
well
one
done.
of those mixers. This is one of those mixers, LCR.
There you go.
Yep.
Left, center, right. That's what LCR mixing is hard left, hard, center and right.
And you listen to some of the new pop music that's coming out, and I don't know how many articles I've read. Oh yeah, you got to check out the new way of mixing left, center, right. And I'm going, wait a minute.
No, that was
You guys
60s
don't know
stuff.
your history, do you? But I'm glad to see it coming back because it does add some fun. What do you think, Billy?
I think I needed a hook, but I don't want to get into it. Every time the drums came in and it went da 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 da, I was expecting something like Queen. We are the, and it just went back into the mellow stuff. I mean, I like it as a mellow song, but I'm a big fan of hooks.
Cool. Well, that's what kind
I
of
was
rating
gonna
you
do the
want?
left, center, right thing, but apparently you guys beat me to it.
Sorry.
Very cool. So is that a tablet track, a jamming at the red light track, chick flick only, or I'm assuming that it's not a don't let the dog let download it track.
I would listen to that one under any circumstances. It was very nice.
Very cool. Mark Shipley.
For me, I like the song really well. It reminds me of all the bands you guys mentioned earlier in your comments, some of the early rock. And then for me, I give it a chick flick night because I like my music just a little bit more heavy, a little bit more in-a-gata-da-vida kind of drum work in the songs is funner for me, but rarely do I get those opportunities. But again, chick flick night, great song. And yeah, I'd like it. I listen to it. Good 60s stuff for me.
Good stuff. And June, you had a couple things you interjected earlier, and I want to get your full thoughts now.
Hmm. I would definitely say that would be a date night. I can't say chick flick night.
Sure you can.
Date night.
Being I'm a chick myself. But I agree
That's a
with
slut
the.
dance.
I
Is it
agree.
guaranteed, June? If I played that song with a woman, would it guarantee anything that I should know about?
Not if you don't put those teeth back in.
No, I'm done.
Oh man, now he's leaving.
And now it's Tom Brokaw on Evening News.
Oh my God, no.
Turn the lights down, man.
We're picking on June, remember? Go back to June.
Hey, the lisp is gone.
Girl.
You do, Billy, you do know that June needs to be able to breathe at least once every 30 minutes.
They told me to throw my Avalon tool.
I haven't heard her laugh that long in a long time.
This is awesome, man.
Shit, this show just keeps getting more and more fun.
June says this is a funny song. We got it, June. Thank you.
Apparently, June is now just a little left of center.
You know, how much of something like that do you edit out? I think it stays. click, 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 click.
Let's just have June laughing randomly without the jokes.
I'm so
So that's Ars Nova.
With I'll get by.
I'll get by, and somehow we'll get by through this
With a little help from
break
our
of craziness with a little help from our friends at UL Sounds and MPC Recording Company. Damn, the guy's good at working stuff in. This episode of Mid-10 Listens Live is brought to you by MPC Recording Company. the independent label known for empowering artists to understand music as a business and to control their careers. And by Unlimited Sounds, a publishing, administration, and digital distribution company helping the average musician get ahead in the digital era. The tablet's turned itself off again. Our next track up is Tom Strasser with Time to Mind. Let's see. Roland Monger of Listen with Monger says, Tom has magic fingers. Ladies, beware, he'd probably be able to unhook your bra as quick as he could click his fingers. Wow, exceptional skills. Tom's a brilliant guitarist, highly talented songwriter. He thrilled his audience from Jochen Linder at Pinsgau News. And Peter Crowley of Batea Magazine says, fabulous stuff. If you ever get the chance to see Tom do so, he'll blow you away. We have Time to Mind, and you guys can catch that on YouTube. And, well, I have a short code for it. So look for tomstrasser.com, TOMSTRASSER.com, and click on through to his YouTube there. You can catch Time to Mind. We're going to listen to it together now and let you know what we think of it. Let's hit play, guys and lady.
Sense, despite the facts that I'm trying to hide. Sometimes even I pretend to be living on the greener side, but the lies of the common people are just reflections in a wishing well. So I know it's the highest steeple that I'll have to climb to go to hell, because it's time to mind. It's a matter of drawing the line. Gotta cut through the haze, find your way out the maze, because it's time. Oh yeah, it's time to mind. As I sleep with my eyes wide open, I see the stars in a different light. Holding on to every token, I will rise up and face the night, because it's time to mind. It's a matter of drawing the line. You gotta cut through the haze, find your way out the maze, because it's time. Oh yeah, it's time to mind. Just remember you're one of a kind. There is too much at stake. Gotta be wide awake, because it's time. Oh yeah, it's time to mind.
I think I'm being quiet because I'm just so caught up listening to this one.
I'm kind of speechless myself.
Waking up feeling so hungover from falling through life in my dreams. Quite unsure if I'm dead or sober, but I'm hanging on by all means, because it's time.
Waking up hungover, am I dead or sober? Yeah.
It's a matter of drawing the line. Gotta cut through the haze, find your way out the maze, because it's time. Oh yeah, it's time to mind. Just remember you're one of a kind. There is too much at stake.
A lot of the new Irish music and Irish rock and English rock, the alternative rock coming out of Northern Europe, has certain elements of this, the contrasts that are in it. The mix has some interesting elements I'll talk about later.
Yeah, there's some interesting elements. Tom uses a lot of loops. He's got a bit of that Andy McKee beat on the guitar style of thing going on. I hear some of that in the mix. That the really, really, really dirty bit way down low in the mix. When it first came in at the beginning, I wasn't sure if that was done on purpose or not. So I might have held it off another 4 bars and let something else come in first. The vocal was just slightly, I don't want to say pitchy, because it was more monotonish than pitchy for the first verse. When he got to the second chorus, and the second time he hit "It's Time to Mind," he got that pitch of mind up to where he wanted it, and from there on out, I was happy with it. I enjoyed the lyric, enjoyed the performance. Mix might could have used a little bit of work. I'm not sure, but that's definitely a keeper. I'm not sure if it's a jammer. I'm not sure if it's a tablet track or a chick flick track, but it's definitely a keeper. And we'll listen to it again, catch the rest of the lines. There's some really neat vocal lines or lyrics in there, so I'll let somebody else talk about it for a minute while I decide what to rate it myself.
Who's up to bat first?
I like listening to each instrument. If you can pick any instrument he had on there and just tune out everything else and listen to it, and they're all fantastic. Everything that they were doing back there was well thought out. 10 stars.
10 stars. All right.
He's jamming it at the red light.
Yep.
Windows down, he's playing it.
Yep. Pissing off the neighbors.
What does Brian think?
No, sorry.
You know what? When that track first started, it reminded me of Godsmack Voodoo. Sorry, what? You hear what I'm saying, TC?
I know exactly where you're going with that.
Never heard enough Godsmack to be able to throw in on that one.
You guys are just making up bands now, right? Say Rolling Stones every once in a while. Jeez.
Dude, look this up. Check out Godsmack Voodoo. You're going to hear the same intro, but it's going to be in a different style.
Yeah.
Then the vocals came in, and I went, what? Because it was totally like a 180-degree mind changer. And it blended so well for what they were doing. I loved it.
The mixture of the dirt down underneath with the clean guitar on top of it, and then the bass line. And the thing I was interested in the mix is when he was doing the single, his main vocal is in the center, but then you'd have the stereo tracks on the side of his vocals. You could tell the overdubbing part where he doubled up the vocals, and then we'd bring it in and then bring it back out. I do that a lot in my mixes. In fact, the song that I sent you to listen to, one of the samples that came out of my studio, that's, if you remember, I bring up those harmony parts, and where he doubled up the vocals or tripled up, and so you had more stuff going on certain words. He would swell it out, bring it back down, and then off in the background you can hear a female vocal coming in over here on the left side, just underneath everything.
Correct.
I would have liked to heard her just a little stronger and maybe a little earlier in the track too.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. A hair, just a touch.
Just a hair, because her voice was
more texture.
Such a nice and interesting element to the overall production and mix that
more texture.
I wanted to hear it. wanted to hear a little more of it. Hey, maybe, and we've experienced this before. Maybe we put it out on the monitors or in the car speakers, and it
It's a
pops
different
right
sound.
out there. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a different sound. Headphones and monitors are definitely a different sound.
Oh, yeah.
His style of singing is not really my
Favorite?
sense of appeal. It's not something that I'm but the way that this song was constructed, I can't complain. It shows who he is. It gives you a definitive idea of who the artist is, and that's a good point. You can't take that away from him.
Yeah, I
So-
think that's what I was trying to say. And, when I mentioned the pitch or monotonishness of it, it was just not enough to say anything bad about it at all.
It's more enunciation for me.
yeah,
How he pronounces his words, and
Exactly.
that's the only thing. If a little bit more rounded out on the vowels but the style of his singing, it identifies who he is.
Yeah,
It's English, raw, Manchester, South London. That's what I got.
Yep, me too. I'm definitely going to. Wow. All right. So I've come up with tablet track for my rating for it. Yeah,
I'll go tablet.
I'm going to go tablet because that's
agree.
definitely one that if I were to, for example, stick it in a random playlist somewhere on the tablet, I would
Wouldn't mind it
I would
popping
be
up.
pleasantly surprised every time it popped up. So and anytime I'm pleasantly surprised by a song popping up in my playlist, that's saying a lot for the song, for the songwriter, and everybody else involved with it. All right, you're beating on it over there. Just go ahead and jump in, Mark.
All right. I'd have to stash it on my iPod. I'd move it up a little bit if they switch out some of the acoustics, or even add some electric guitar, some grunge, some Metallica in there, or just rock it up a little bit and maybe add a little bit more drums. These are pretty cool. Definitely jamming along with that, but personally, overall good song for the fellas, but I would prefer it a little bit more electric on my end.
And well, we haven't heard from June yet. Are you?
I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed the beat. I enjoyed the monotone of the vocals. There did seem to be a little something missing, but I couldn't figure out what. But TC named all that. I'm not technical, so I can't figure that kind of thing out. But to me, I would definitely I would have it on my iPod, and I would still play it at the red light. Definitely.
I gotta run into you guys at a red light one day.
It's going to be a noisy freaking intersection, isn't it?
Yes. We'll be blasted. Oh, it's you.
Brett told us we're allowed to play it, officer.
It's all his fault.
That's great stuff. Wow, what an exciting night. You've been watching Mid-10 Live, brought to you by Middle Tennessee Music and sponsored by UL Sounds and MPC Recording Company. Tonight we heard Adam Clark's King of the Sky, Boombox by Go Home Driver, an exclusive preview of Jack by Rivertairs, Ars Nova's I'll Get By, and Time to Mind by Tom Strasser.